With the NFL season progressing slowly and teams making progress, we're going to take a look at some of the trades that happened over the last few months that could have made a huge impact over this upcoming season. Number 7. DeForest Buckner to the Indianapolis Colts. The San Francisco 49ers have the best pass rush in the NFL, and with John Lynch choosing to extend Eric Armstrong's contract, it made DeForest Buckner an expendable option. Buckner was traded to the Colts for a number 13 pick in the 2020 draft. If you take a look at San Francisco's cap situation, it seemed like they had to sacrifice Buckner, and the Colts took advantage. Buckner is just entering the prime of his career, and if you look at his stats, he has 28.5 sacks just since 2016, right behind Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, and Geno Atkins. John Lynch used the first-round draft pick to pick up Javon Kinlaw, who has the potential to be one of the best in his position. A cheaper and younger replacement of Buckner, the deal seemed to work out for both parties at the time. The Colts didn't have any glaring needs, and Buckner only made sure that their front seven became one of the best in the league. The move could weaken the 49ers' NFC title defense, but they have received adequate compensation for their departed star, who could have just as well left as a free agent in 2020. The addition of someone like Kinlaw ensures that the 49ers still have the best pass rush in the league, and they will hope that losing out on Buckner doesn't come back to bite them. Number 6. Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. While this certainly was a strange one, Tampa Bay general manager Jason Licht is pretty confident about the deal. The Patriots traded the 6-time Super Bowl winner and a 7th-round draft pick for a 4th-round draft pick. While Brady is nowhere near the level he once was, he still has that championship mentality that can be crucial for the Buccaneers in their quest to reach the playoffs. The icing on the cake was Brady's old teammate Rob Gronkowski signing with Tampa Bay after coming out of retirement. Gronk was enjoying life after retirement in the WWE, but jumped at the opportunity to reunite with his old teammate. If they can perform at even half the level they did with the Patriots, it could be a season to remember for Tampa Bay. The move could just as well blow up in their faces because the deal is worth $50 million over 2 years. But it was a risk that the Buccaneers were willing to take. Brady will even have some tools he lacked in his last season in New England, namely Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and O.J. Howard. On defense, he will have the league's leading sack leaders with him. There will be some stiff competition from the Saints and 49ers, but it would be a huge surprise if the Buccaneers don't make it to the postseason in the new 14-team format. The only thing that makes this deal not the best one this year is Brady's age. If this does not work out, it could all be a very expensive mistake for the Buccaneers. Number 5. Teddy Bridgewater to the Carolina Panthers. After releasing Cam Newton, who was later picked up by the Patriots, the Panthers found themselves in a tricky situation. Cam had taken them to the heights of playoff contention, but injuries and limited cap space meant that the Panthers had to tell their star to pack his bags. It was unfortunate, and things could have been very different if the Panthers had done better in the playoffs, but that just turned everything quite sour. Enter Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy arriving made a lot of sense for the Panthers, as he was just entering the prime of his career at 27 and is an out-and-out replacement for Cam. They signed him on a 3-year contract worth around $60 million, and for that amount of money, the Panthers could be getting a top-tier quarterback who could be around for many more years to come. Joe Brady was with the New Orleans Saints when Teddy signed for them in 2018, so he would fit into the offensive system like a glove. Teddy could just as well make the position his own for the foreseeable future and could have a bigger impact than Cam Newton did for the Panthers. Overall, a great trade for the Panthers, who will be hoping that the best of Teddy is still to come. Number 4. DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals. DeAndre Hopkins is easily a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL, and he is still in his prime. Arizona gave up their running back David Johnson, a 2nd-round pick in 2020 and a 4th-round pick in 2021 for DeAndre Hopkins, and what has to be one of the most shocking pieces of business in the NFL this year. Hopkins has been one of the best receivers in the league, even when he was playing alongside the likes of Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett, and Tom Savage. Now, even with those guys, Hopkins was putting up all-star numbers. Now, the Cardinals have removed an injured running back from their team who was arguably a shell of a player that he was in 2016 and added an elite receiver in Kyler Murray. It was a brilliant coup for the Arizona Cardinals, which left many people stunned. DeAndre Hopkins might just be the difference that takes Arizona to a Super Bowl. Yes, he is that good. And according to NFL columnist Adam Shell, the only thing that was missing from the transaction was a ski mask and a gun. The reason behind this bizarre trade was the deteriorating relationship between O'Brien and Hopkins, who never got the contract that he truly deserved. Houston might have found some saving grace by getting in Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb, but Hopkins was a franchise player, and for Houston to get less than market value for him was abysmal. Number 3. Jack Conklin of the Cleveland Browns. Jack Conklin was a first-team All-Pro as a rookie in 2016 and adds some much-needed firepower to the Cleveland Browns. The team continued its impressive overhaul with Conklin's addition, who is still one of the top offensive linemen and still at a young age of 25. But most importantly, Cleveland filled in a huge role in their squad with this signing. Baker Mayfield has been regressing slowly, but having someone like Conklin on the team will only help him. Even though the former Tennessee Titans right tackle has not lived up to his 2016 form, he is still a reliable presence, having missed just 1.6% of his blocks over a 4-year career. That is seriously impressive. Chris Hubbard and Greg Robinson have both arguably been the two weakest links in the Browns' offense, so Jack Conklin will be a welcomed addition. The Browns signed him on a 3-year deal worth $42 million, which seems a bit steep for a right tackle, but it fills a big hole in the Browns squad, who are assembling a serious team. Number 2, Corey Littleton to the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders made a real statement when they signed Corey Littleton on a 3-year, $36 million contract. Now, $12 million a year seems steep for a non-rushing linebacker, but Corey brings a lot to the Raiders roster. Littleton had just 22 passes intercepted and 5 defended over the past 2 seasons and is one of the best in his position. The ex-Ram star also earned sacks on more than 5% of his pass rushes and 16% of those plays. He adds much needed steel and leadership to the Las Vegas Raiders, who desperately needed this upgrade. The 26-year-old might just be the spark that the Raiders need to take them to the next level. We will just have to wait and see and find out what happens with Corey and the Raiders. But if all goes to plan, that $36 million contract could look like an underpay. The Las Vegas Raiders also get to play the Kansas City Chiefs twice a year, which would give the Raiders an extra chance to rise in the AFC West. Now, while this trade could look like an underpay, it still isn't a bargain as of yet. We will just have to wait and see what the coming NFL season has in store. Number 1, Stefon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills. Diggs was unhappy at Minnesota for a very long time, and it was only a matter of time before a trade materialized. The Vikings sent Diggs and a 7th-round pick to the Bills in exchange for 2020's 1st, 5th, and 6th round picks, and a 4th-round pick in 2021. The Bills have a subpar offense last season, with John Brown being the only receiver to cross the 800-yard mark. Regardless of Brown being the best receiver on the team, he still most likely will be replaced by Diggs. The Bills made the playoffs last season without some solid options in offense, and this season might just promise better results. Diggs has already recorded 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons and only continues to improve. Josh Allen now has some serious firepower in Diggs, Brown, Beasley, and Singletary. That is a seriously talented offense that might just make the Bills the team to beat in the AFC East in this upcoming season. The deal was a win-win for both teams, as the Vikings got rid of a player who wanted out for a very long time, and the Bills have brought in a player that gives them a better chance in the upcoming season. Seriously, don't sleep on the Bills.